Oi oi guys, thanks for joining us on our return journey from March to Eton Soken now. We've just had the rust bucket surveyed for its very first time since buying it last year. Just skip back a couple of episodes if you want to see how that went. And we're leaving St Ives here. And one of the huge tasks today will be to see if we can get the boat back into our marina. We've got some new boaty neighbours moored up there supposedly, so it's going to be even tighter to get the boat into our spot. Again, if you check out previous episodes, you'll see how hard it was for us to try and leave the marina. So originally I thought God Manchester was about 30 minutes away on the boat. I thought that after the first lock we turn left. But as soon as we got to this first lock and we got out, we realised, oh, you can't go left, which pretty much means we've probably got about a 4-hour journey on our hands. So yeah, we're going to try and check out God Manchester today. It's just probably going to take a little bit longer to get there. And things got a little bit complicated manoeuvring the boat in old God Manchester, so yeah, well, you'll see anyway. Right. Overtaking round a bend. So we have just got into Hemmingford. I thought we were going to turn left there and we were going to get into God Manchester. It's an area that we sort of went past on the way through here. We never went down there, so turns out it wasn't that one. It's probably going to be the next one. So stay tuned, because it's a sharp turn left, and then we're hoping that there's going to be some nice, lovely moorings in God Manchester with not horrible children that want to jump on boats. Yeah, in Ely we had some children about sort of up until 12 at night, just being loud outside the boat, you know, just being kids really. And one of them, we heard a bang on the boat, and one of them was sort of sitting on top and then got off as soon as I came out. And they apologised, they were fine really. I said, you know, it's all right. There's not really much, you don't really want them ideally to be jumping around on the boat, but I don't think there's much you can do apart from make things worse if you start getting angry. I mean, there is a point when you probably do have to start getting angry, but, you know, start them off lightly and then bring out the cattle prod. And, yeah, I meant St Ives there. Kids aren't going to jump on your boat in Ely, are they? It's far too posh. So it looks like we've got a big wide beam coming towards us. Let's see how Becca handles it. If it's not handled well, we have it on film. You might want to move over that way a bit. All eyes are on Becca. We've got the 360 camera blaring. How will she cope in the moment of panic? I mean, it's just not fair, is it? There's far too much space. Like a pro, unfortunately. We will get her one day, guys. You're bloody taking photos whilst driving around. Look at this. Look at this, she's meant to be concentrating.
Being overconfident, but you see a good photo, you can't miss the opportunity. Fortunately, the rain seems to have held off. I saw like a lightning strike ahead of me like a little while ago, but then that seems to have dissipated, so fingers crossed we can still get there without getting too soggy. Another lovely little church by the riverside.
And this is in Hertford, guys, and we moored up just next to here about a year ago. Welcome to God Manchester. We'll try and work out how to get out. And these lovely people wanted to help us out and give us a hand, so they shut the locked doors for us behind us. But in our moment of sort of panicking around and concentrating, look, here they go. We didn't even notice, so we didn't even say thanks. They sort of waited around and we were pushing buttons and they just sort of waved and scarpered off. So sorry guys, and thanks so much. You will always get validation, if deserved, from Crobot. It just takes a little bit of time. And this is a sharp turn left here after the water stopped coming in, and that takes us straight into God Manchester, which is a dead end, guys. Hope you know how to reverse. Becca has opted for driving duty. I have opted for head foreman duty. Bit of that on the old face, lovely jubbly. The nerves are starting to settle in. A woman at the wheel, how will she fare? get myself in trouble one of these days. The nerves replaced by confidence as she steered her way around. Easy. And that's just what you need. 7 out of 10 I gave her. She didn't seem impressed. And in a little while, I'm going to moor up just behind this boat on the left here. First of all, we're going to head into God Manchester and just have a little nosy around. Or maybe head into a few little problems. I'm back! Aggressive being on the back with the sound. It's so relaxing on the front. When you get on the back, it's sort of like a panicky sound. So here we are, the heart of God Manchester. Looking at it from the other side, we were coming up from the top here and we want to go right underneath this little bridge for some weird reason, just to be nosy really. This might be it. So here's the little weird bridge. It's actually a Chinese bridge and it was replaced by a replica in 1960 because of its bad condition. Yeah, want to look after those bridges, guys. I don't know how far we can go under there, but... So yeah, this leads to a dead end. The bridge is just calling us in. No, it seems to keep going. It might be best to reverse it up until we know how far it goes round. Onward bound towards the dead end. Becca just wanted to keep going. Nothing to do with me, guys, honest. The girl's out of control. A moment of panic as she flees the tiller. And lets me take charge of the sticky situation she got us all into. Oh, I'm only joking, guys. I couldn't help myself but to say that. You'll soon notice when you're doing these journeys on a boat that you just sort of start going exploring and you end up in little areas like this and then you just slowly have to work out sort of how to get out really, and not a massive amount can go wrong, I don't think, because you don't need a licence to drive one of these things. But that isn't going to stop me having fun with the situation. So even though it looks like there's a lot of room, it was actually quite tight because there were these buoys all over the place. So I reversed it out, accelerated it hard to the right. This seems to make it just want to steer instead of it sort of charging forward. I don't know how good it is for the engine, mind. Anyway, back to the wind-up. We'll get you out, girl. We'll sort it out for you, girl. A moment of panic from Becca, and we're en route again.
So, Chris tells me to go down through under this bridge, and then is trying to make out that I'm the one at fault. It's a load of rubbish. Anything to try and make himself look good.
She had to go under that bloody bridge.
He has to make up stories.
Right, so let's moor up. The life of a true boater in the genius mind of a narrowboat activist. So there was another narrowboat parked here. All right, sorry. You sure? Yeah, thanks very much. We don't fully know what we're doing, so we just bug it sort of wherever we can get. That's the fun of it, in a way, isn't it? So they moved their boat back, and we slid ours in from the front. Shout out to Donna and Vivian here. What a lovely little narrowboat couple. We stood here and chatted for ages with them. Yeah, I always like to pry and get little tips, and they weren't shy to hand out tips, so cheers guys. That's the lovely thing about this life, guys. 99% of narrowboaters are lovely. I just happen to be that 1%. Sorry, couldn't help myself with that. I'm lovely too, obviously. So, God Manchester, a maximum stay of 48 hours. We are gifted our very own barbecue. Probably because they're fed up of people just starting fires on the lawn. But either way, cheers barbecue erector. I think it's a good idea. So time to assess God Manchester. We were greeted with a very patriotic entrance. There's the wombat, very patriotic in herself. She looks like a Union Jack, don't she? But then things just got weird. The people of God Manchester started to act very unusual. With their webbed feet, they started to scavenge seeds off the floor, and a sign that indicated Cambridge and London in the same spot. They clearly didn't want us to leave. A place where time doesn't exist is no place for Crobot, so we sheepishly tried to fit in as we scuttled off back to the Wombat. Enough of the nonsense, guys. As you may have seen on previous videos, My laptop charger is making a weird fuzzy buzzy sound when I'm plugging it in. This is the first time that we've been on the move and not relying on the shore power at the marina. Sometimes I can be on the laptop for about 8 hours a day editing the videos. They can take quite a while. You know, it's essential really, because it's a big part of me wanting to do the Narrowboat thing. You know, I love creating the vlogs. So we had one comment which was quite interesting that said you can actually get a 12-volt adapter. The only problem with this is it could take forever to charge. One that I saw on Amazon was about £33, so not too bad. A lot cheaper than having to go out and buy a really expensive sine wave sort of inverter. Supposedly we do have a sine wave inverter. It could just be a cheap one, it could be a modified one, and an expensive one could cost, I don't know, I've been having a look, they go up to about £1,000 these things. So if I can get the USB one and the 12-volt adapter and that works, then brilliant. But let's have a little look at what we've got in there. So here it is. Does not say anything about it being sine wave. So homebound, and in fairness, this is probably going to be the hardest part of the journey, trying to get it back into the marina. Yeah, all that bloody foliage, guys. You're reversing the boat back into our little spot at the marina isn't fun either, though it's always sort of worked out. So Becca is going to go and open one of the paddles while manning the front rope. I've got the back rope here, and because it's a 60-footer, it's just a bit more control over it. I don't know if it's the right thing to do, but it seems to work best when we're sort of one on both ends. Complete stability of the vessel. So we drove up here for a few hours towards St Neots, and that brought us in nicely to our marina. Yeah, you're always winging it a little bit bringing it into this marina. I mean, everyone is so helpful and lovely at this marina, it doesn't really matter, but that still doesn't stop it being a bit of a pain to get the boat out. Again, Becca has taken charge of the vessel, and this gives me a good chance to finally show Becca how it's done with that giant big stick that I keep shouting at her to use when we get stuck up here. Could make us YouTube stars, couldn't it, this? Depending on how it goes. Packed pub never helps. It's a lovely little pub actually. So the key is to bring the nose into this top corner here, and then hopefully the back can swing round. You've got to move the back round now.
Everything goes wrong. You might have to give it a bit of help. It's struggling, I think. It's struggling to move. It's not really reacting.
We don't want the front going, you want the back to go.
If you give it a shove, it might just give it a bit more momentum. It's going a little bit. Sorry?
Coming, it's just slow.
Yeah, but it's just not reacting. I think you're going to have to help shove it a bit. I know, but it's not moving because it's too weedy, I think. It's not very much.
And we've got to squeeze through right at the back here. Did you want to throw them in rope? Started to realise the stupid stick didn't really do much after all. And Becca completely overshot our entrance turning. It's okay, she's got it under control. Not that way, Bex, the other way. Yeah, that way. No, the back's meant to be going down there. Becca, where are you going? Time for a stern telling off. Becca was doing it on purpose to annoy me.
I'm trying to pivot it.
She knows what she's doing. No, in fairness, guys, she's done really well. It's so tricky getting the boat into this little tight corner. It's sort of lucky that we're doing up our boat a lot at the moment, and we're not actually taking the boat out a lot, so it sort of sits in there quite nicely. But it's such a hard corner to get the boat out from. And thanks to everyone at the marina for helping us out get the boat back in. You're such a great bunch. And these guys here on the boat to the left are our new neighbours, and they were super helpful too. Bet they were very, very happy to meet Crobot for the first time. Scraping our way through. What an entrance, eh? And what a journey, guys. Thanks for joining us. We're finally back home. Get the kitchen done, get the bathroom done, get gone to the bloody canals and rivers for 2 to 3 years, yes? I'm feeling optimistic, guys. I think we can do it. Look at our lovely blacking, eh? The algae nearly helps bring out the colour. Okay, back to our strict DIY vlogs, guys. Hope you enjoyed our take on cruising. See you in the next one.